Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another shell challenge submission speed build. Today we're tackling the new Lilsimsie shell challenge called the Simsie puzzle shell. Basically, Kayla made these rooms all different sizes and shapes, and the challenge is to fit them all together to make a home. So the only rules are you don't touch the outer walls of the rooms unless they end up being interior walls in your build. Then you can delete them and create your own interior rooms. And you can also repeat the rooms if needed so that you can complete the home to your liking, which was very helpful. I definitely did that. So here we are working on the shell, and it was definitely a rough go at first. This is actually my third attempt, so I guess third time is in fact the charm in this case. But I decided on Oasis Springs, and I wanted to set out to create this luxurious Spanish villa with a large pool and a pool house. So it ends up being 154,563 simoleons, and it is on the Arid Ridge lot, which is a 40 by 30 lot. It ends up having 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms total, including the pool house, and I'm pretty proud of it. This one took me about 4 hours on and off, so I had a lot of footage to cut down and speed up, but it still ends up being a pretty long video. So settle in and get comfy, grab a snack if you plan on sticking around, but I understand if you want to just jump around, so I will include some timestamps for you in the description box down below. So here you see I have gotten all of my puzzle pieces in place, and I am just working on the roofing. Now what I did was when I was creating the roof, which I did not include in the footage here, I was zooming out all the way and looking at the surrounding homes and trying to basically duplicate the other homes in this area, because I wanted it to really fit in with that Spanish or Mediterranean look. And I think in the end it really blends in well, because when I entered it on the map to go back in later and take screenshots, I was like, oh hey, wait, where's my build? I can't see it. And oh wait, nope, there it is. It did actually blend in very well, so I was excited about that. But here we are. I created a little upper patio area up here, and it will have like a little kids corner off to the right, and over to the left will be the parent or parent Sims area, little sitting area, and like a little bar. You'll see later on, it's very cute. But basically just most of this is roofing at first because it actually gave me a lot of trouble. I was trying to make it look seamless and even. I ended up moving some of the rooms forward. Like I said, I copied and pasted some of the rooms from like the pool house, and that little 2x2 square right there I end up repeating to make a longer bedroom. The kids' bedroom is definitely a funny shape. It has a lot of weird angles. It's almost shaped like a letter Z or a letter N, but I made the angles work. I used some curtains, and I think it looks really cute. It would definitely be a bedroom that I would be down to have as a kid. It looks really fun. And then their little outer deck space has like a creativity table and just a little table for sitting and writing, or doing homework maybe outside on a nice day. But I think it looks really nice. I was quite pleased, but it definitely took me a while to put everything together and get everything just the way that I wanted. It took a lot of stepping back and just looking, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun though. And here we are adding more of these roof pieces, little awning pieces, to the outside with tool mod to lower them properly. And then these little, what are they called? Corbels. That's right. I put them under this little bump out, and I use the tool mod to move them as well because they were not quite lining up for some reason. I don't know why the one automatically went lower than the other. But I ended up using these guys, and then eventually I do put a wall trim along the where the first story meets the second story, and it all blends in really cute. I thought that was really cool. I don't know, I don't normally build this kind of home. I know I've done maybe 2 in the past on the channel, but it is still not quite in my wheelhouse. So I was really trying to use my experience with the other builds and see what I could do, if I could improve on my skills in that way. And I think that's the only way you really do improve in Sims, is just practicing all different kinds of styles of home. So here we are. I'm going to start deleting the inner walls upstairs, and I don't think, did I delete the ones? Yes, I did. I deleted the ones in the pool house. I ended up redrawing one of them because I was like, oh, maybe I can use one of those rooms again later. So yeah, but pretty much just going in and attempting to figure out what was actually going to happen with this home was the hardest part. I said, do I want to delete the walls now, or do I want to keep the shapes intact? Am I going to want to duplicate them later? Am I going to remember what they were? That was probably the hardest part, but this was definitely a good one. It took me a while. If you're looking for a nice challenging shell to embark upon, this is definitely the one for you. And I'm also, by the way, in case anyone else saw the live stream, I'm currently watching it off to the side on my phone with the volume off and just reading the subtitles here and there, and like using my peripherals to watch it at the same time as I'm recording this. So I hope everybody's excited for that. I was thinking about doing another ranch, but I just did one on the channel, and I figured a lot of people are probably going to be doing ranches for this one. I was trying something a little different. So you saw the front deck come together, and then here's a little back patio space as well. Back here later on ends up having like a chess table and plants and a nice little seating area, just a bench. And I used a lot of Courtyard Oasis in this. The steps and the the railing and the fencing on the porch there. That was all Courtyard Oasis. Here you see I'm still messing around with the roof, trying to get just the right shape. It was giving me a heck of a time. But now we are finally in to the interior floor planning. And over here I have some pillars I'm putting in, and I put in some spandrels. I do end up changing this up a little bit, and then I change those to half walls. And then I have to figure out where the stairs are going, so you'll see it changes quite a bit. But over there on the other side of the pillars is going to be the kitchen area. It's very spacious, lots of countertop space, nice little layout in the kitchen. That little tiny square over there in the corner ends up being the downstairs half bath. And then I think now is about the time I start pulling out the stairs, if I remember correctly. Or no, here's when I start making the floor plan. I'm sorry, it's been a couple days. We're getting there. It's been spent a lot of time on this build. You think I would remember? I do not. My brain is mush. So here are the stairs, and I was just trying to line them up upstairs, make sure everything had enough room. So I go with this layout here, and about this time I realize I'm gonna need more space upstairs. So, that was a rough one, but I drew out the wall here, and then I think what I do is I make a little rectangle right behind the stairs, and that ends up being like a closet space. I was going to put the fridge in that little cubby, but it just didn't work right with the pillar. It was kind of clipping, and I didn't know if your sim would be able to actually get to it. So I put a little walk-in closet, a little sliding door closet there, and this actually made a great little transition for the rooms that are back here. I made a little office in that L-shaped room there, and that bigger room is the dining room, and the rest of the space there in the middle is like the living area / entryway. In the end, it all flows really nicely. I used some playtester sims, and everybody was able to do what they needed to do and move around nice and enjoy the home as it was meant to be enjoyed. So I was very happy with the layout, and I was pleasantly surprised that it worked, because I thought this is going to be way too cramped. There's no way the Sims are going to be able to route. No, it was fine. Everything was fine. So, thank goodness. I decided I wanted to do a little roof piece, but I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to use. And then right around here, I decided this beautiful little chimney piece from the My Wedding Stories pack. was perfect. So that goes up there. And in here I'm just working on the living room space. I knew I wanted a fireplace, and I knew for sure I wanted this Desert Luxe couch that we got in that kit. I also used a lot of Desert Luxe. Desert Luxe and Courtyard Oasis kits came in very handy for this one. And then I upgraded the fireplace to this more modern kind of concrete, almost brutalist style, because I thought it worked really nice in contrast with like the softer wood tones. And yeah, I really enjoyed how it all came out. So here I'm placing the windows for the living room and making sure I had a good layout and a good space for the TV, and also any wall art. I wanted to leave enough space for wall art and plants. I was thinking about using that enormous TV, but I decided against it. I went with this one, the kind of clunky one with the speakers on the sides. It was just old enough and also new enough to work in this space, because I didn't want the space to be super duper modern. I wanted it to seem like, you know, it had been refurnished and maybe repainted a little bit, but that they were trying to keep it kind of simple. You know what I mean? They're not trying to make it super duper modern. I think that would be a little much. So I stuck with a lot of the Mega collection from the base game, because that is kind of like the mission style, and the wood tones just all match so nicely. That big bookshelf in the office and the desk are both from the Mega collection, and I believe these chairs are as well. So they are base game. I really like the blue tone of those seat cushions, so I kind of leaned into that for that room. You'll end up seeing that a little later. And up here is where I'm trying to think about this floor plan. So I repeat that side room there, the little Tetris piece, basically, for upstairs. That ends up being split, and the very strangely shaped piece up at the top there is the master, or the primary bedroom. And then that big old square ends up being the bathroom that has the shower. And then here you see I repeated that 2x2 square. So there's the Z-shaped child's room, the hallway, primary bedroom, which ends up being the parents' room, and bathroom. And yeah, and then the big deck outside. I think it worked out pretty nice. Here I am just placing some furniture to get an idea of where everything was going to go. Because like I said, if you're new here, hi, I work on limited time frames because my children they have my full attention all day, and I pretty much only get time to build or record or do things like this when they are napping during the day or asleep at night. So yep, I work on limited time frame. I kind of try to get what I can done and do like placement furniture so I don't forget where things are and what rooms are going to be what, because my brain is soup. Anyway, over here is the kids' bedroom. I really like this bed and how kind of the little corner piece there just fits so nicely in the wall. So I do end up going with that. And then I placed a bunch of windows off camera. And here's me placing the doors. I was very, very happy with how the whole shape came together. And then here's the outside, finally painting it. I used the Courtyard Oasis stucco-ish looking paint, and then for the inside rooms I do use a lot of the Courtyard Oasis, and also the almost stucco looking wallpaper from what was it, Dream Home Decorator? Yeah, there's one from Dream Home Decorator, or not Dream Home Decorator, sorry, My Wedding Stories. Why do I get them confused? They are not even the least bit the same. Oh boy. Alright, moving on to the pool house / guest house. So over here we just kind of repeated the same roofing shape, and I make a little outdoor kitchen area for our Sims. And this little rounded roof piece I thought was neat because it was different from the main house and kind of flowed nicely. So I just repeated the same roof trim and shingle color and shape. And then I used the Desert Luxe awning right here in the front to kind of shade our little outdoor kitchen. Then I put this very nice vine-covered fence piece from Get Together. And these, what do they call it again? Outdoor trash cans? Wow, brain. The outdoor trash cans from Get Together as well. So I think they came in very handy because they just look very rustic and kind of like they were meant to be off to the side of a nice grill space. I don't know, just gave me that vibe. Here we are messing around with the roof piece some more. I think I end up trying to repeat the rounded roof piece in the back. I don't know if I end up keeping it or not. Oh yeah, here we go. I was trying to like put them together, and it just wasn't doing it. So I was trying really hard, but it just wasn't working. And so then I just extend everything, and then I finally realized, oh, I can just do like a half rounded piece back here. That works a lot better. So that is what we have going on there. And then I think what I ended up doing was, yes, so I figured out where the door was going to go. That door off to the side, the little one under the rounded roof piece, ends up being the door to the guest bedroom slash, basically the guest room, I guess it would be, right? Guest room, where maybe if you had someone sleeping over or grandparents sleeping over, then they could stay in there. And I also make a nice big like shower room bathroom. Here is the finished product of the outdoor kitchen. I cut a lot of it out because it was so much rotating and moving back and forth underneath the awning, and I just didn't want to bore you with the details. But all of this, except for those two countertop pieces in the corner, are from the Desert Luxe kit. The countertop pieces are from the Jungle Adventures pack, which are the same counters I use in the kitchen in the house. So I thought that made a lot of sense. They would have the same countertops. Maybe they had some extras left over, and they put them outside here. I think it looks really nice. And this is a cute little, like almost like a flower box that I'm making out of this exterior wall decoration and these vines. I did have to delete the wall because they kept clipping, but then I put the wall back, and I really like it. And I threw in a debug bromeliad plant that kind of looks like it's vining upward. I sized it down one and just moved it up, and I think I changed the color to more of a reddish color because there's another plant next to it that's more reddish, and I wanted it to blend in nicely. And then to complete this roofing situation, I wanted to make sure I drew out the ceiling so that there was no weird gap where the overhang was, where you could just see straight up into the ceiling, because that always bothers me. So over here, that smaller area with the large outward facing like open doors, that is going to be the storage area slash pool supply area. And then over here with all the other windows is going to be the bedroom, and it came together pretty quick. I used the futon bed, not the used one, but the nicer one, I guess. And then I repeated the same base game terracotta floor tile, these two end tables from Jungle Adventure, and I think all I did was that big rectangle there in the middle ends up being the shared bathroom. So I wanted to throw in what I would need for that and get the orientation figured out. The sink and toilet are from Tiny Living, and then the shower is from University. And I believe I end up putting a partition on either side of the shower head, and I put that little hanging towel there from Spa Day right in the middle. So these partitions I sized down one time and rose them up onto the wall, because when I put them next to each other not being sized down, you basically couldn't get into the shower. It's definitely that would have been a problem. So I ended up sizing them down, and then I had my playtester sim come in here and shower, and it worked out really well. She was able to do everything that she needed to do, so I'm happy with the way that turned out. Just moving around and making sure that everything fit nicely. There was a lot of pauses in here because I was just making sure that I knew what my vision was, and also checking on my reference images that I had to make sure that I was meeting up with my expectations of what I wanted the room to be. It was pretty fun. I always wanted to do like a nice pool house, but my homes always end up being so large and the yard ends up being kind of small. Or the house is really small, so to have a pool house with a teeny tiny home on it just doesn't make any sense. At that rate, just add it to the house itself, right? So here is almost the finished product. I use this wallpaper, the kind of gradient yellow from My Wedding Stories, and then the rug is from High School Years. I think I used that teal tone, and then these lovely curtains, which are probably one of my favorites. They are from the Paranormal Stuff pack, and I love them very much. I I use them on all the windows except for the large square window. I end up using the one from my first pet stuff eventually. But first I wanted to put these lovely curtains on the rest of the windows and make sure everything lined up nicely. So here we are moving over to this window, and oh no, I didn't use my first pet stuff. I used Cottage Living. That is correct. So I used this Cottage Living shade instead. I just sized it down, or no, I just rose it up. I did not size it down ever so slightly with Tool Mod. And then the dresser, I believe, is also from high school years. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Oh boy. Here is, I'm working on this little corner over here. I was trying to think of a nice like lounge chair kind of thing. Maybe like a chair that you set your clothes on while you're getting dressed. I don't know. That's what I do anyway. I set my clothes down on my rocking chair in my room. And that's how I know what I'm wearing for the next day. Oh man. Over here is a nice little plant corner. I thought it worked out really nice. So I put this lovely light from the Courtyard Oasis kit over there as well. And then this lovely little lit up, it almost looks like a plant, but it's really a light in the corner. And then I wanted some nice wall decorations. So I used these paintings from City Living. I think they are so cute. And they work really well with like the Spanish style. They're like bright colors, but they're also just really simple. And then over here, this little gallery wall of pictures of all around the world. And then I changed the end table lights because I just didn't like how they weren't lighting up the room enough for me. And over here, some wall decorations that I layered together to create some little framed flowers. I thought it was nice. And I think I just clutter up the dresser a little bit. I think I put a little basket of lotions and stuff. Technically, I think it's supposed to be like baby supplies, but I thought maybe it could be lotions and soaps and stuff for when the guest wants to go into the shower. They can just take it with them, and also some sunblock because they're staying in a pool house, so maybe they need some sunblock for when they go to take a dip out in the desert. I would think you would definitely want sunblock. That light in the bathroom is another one of my favorites, and I've used quite a few times from the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack. And then in here we are working on cluttering up the storage area. I put a whole bunch of holiday decorations, pumpkins, a Christmas tree, and like a nutcracker and like New Year's Eve stuff, and I just went all out on it. I figured they don't have a basement because they live in the desert, so instead they have a storage room in their pool house, and they just pull things out of here. It's actually quite nice because if you don't want to clog up your Sims inventory or household inventory with things, you can put everything in the pool house. So there's a little cornucopia for Harvest Fest. I thought it was nice. And over here I'm just pulling out some more stuff. You'll see me kind of shuffling some stuff around. There's also a Surfin' Santa light that I pull out that I think there it is right there. And I do size him down one, and you'll see because I'm going to fade into it in a second. So there he is. Yeah, size down just a little bit. It's just a teeny bit too big. And I was having trouble with my 9 key wanting to, it not only rose up the item, but it started jumping my camera all around. So I apologize for that. I thought I cut that out, but apparently I did not. And the interior wall here is from Island Living. There we go. And I use the same light that I use in the kitchen, which is hanging right there, and I think it is super cute. Also, which I don't show on camera, I found the life preserver and like the pool net to skim the pool. I end up putting it on that far wall in the storage room underneath the big rectangular window. So you'll see that later on. There again is my camera jumping. I don't understand why it was doing that, but at least it worked in my favor in that case because I was trying to figure out where this vining piece was going to go. I kind of wanted to give the little outdoor grill area some privacy, so that is why I put that there. Maybe some shade from the sun, keep it nice and cool because you're already cooking. I mean, you don't need to make it hotter. And then I just kind of clutter up with a bunch of plants. I do so much landscaping, which is, kind of weird for me because you'd think that in the desert you maybe wouldn't have as many plants, but they also live in the grassy, fancy area. And you see Eliza Pancakes over there in the corner. over there in the far on the sidewalk. I just noticed that. That's funny. She's watching us, always watching us. So here's the pool. I end up making a cute little path in the back, like a little patio area all around it. But first I am working on the outer fence because I did want to make it fenced in and semi-private. I ended up having to move that lit up palm tree, and I removed those columns because the door was just clipping funny. So now it looks much better. And don't worry, like I said, I play tested this. My sim and her daughter could get in there just fine, and everybody could shower, everybody could sit at all the seating areas, cook on the grill, you know, swim in the pool. Everything worked out really well. So I was quite pleased with it. But you'll see me kind of jumping around now. I was trying to cut out as much footage as I could. So I do a lot of starting to make a room decorated, and then you'll just see it fade to being all done out of nowhere because I couldn't do it. It took me so long, and I already knew this was going to be almost an hour-long video, and it just breaks my heart because I know a lot of people just can't stick around to watch all of them, which, hey, I understand. I watch long videos like by James Turner, his Let's Plays, which I love. They get me through my day, but I can only watch them in bits and pieces because my kids demand all of my attention. I'm not going to sit on my phone right in front of them, you know, when they need me. So I have to kind of watch a couple minutes when they're being good and still, and then pause it and come back to it later. That is the way it is sometimes. So here you see I have made the nice tiled deck. I figured that would stay much cooler than concrete because it is tile. And I did kind of fence it off a little bit with this very low-lying fence from Base Game. I love it. I use that a lot around my garden beds. It's just perfect. And you'll see at first I start with these Island Living debug bushes back here, but I didn't like how super bright and green they were. They just didn't fit in with the desert feel that I was going for. These low-lying ground cover, though, I think those are from either Island Living or they very well could be from Cottage Living or High School Years. I'm not 100% sure where they are from. That is a good question. I guess I'll see the next time I copy and paste it with the eyedropper tool, because otherwise I don't know. But here I'm changing the front of the fence, and then like the back corner there, I changed to this one because it had the nice tile on the top, and I thought that it worked really well to match the rest of the tile on the front and back decks, and honestly in much of the house. Where is that from? I forget, you guys. I'm very sorry. I can't see where it's from. It's in debug, and I didn't have debug up at that very moment that I was copying and pasting. Well, it's either Island Living, Cottage Living, or High School Years. One of those. But here I am doing the back patio. I knew that I wanted to use the Desert Luxe recliners, the lounge chairs out here. And so what I did was they didn't have enough space for me. So after I found the little end table that I wanted to use for them, which took me a very long time to find, by the way. I was looking for the round one and I couldn't find it, but there it is. I end up extending the patio just, I think, one more tile, and then I place a nice candle on it from my Wedding Stories, which I really like, that little Moroccan candle with the flower on it. I use that a lot for centerpieces or like hallway tables. I know, very repetitive. And I also love this patio table because the colors from the umbrella, they just look like a desert kind of beachy, you know, color scheme, which I really enjoy. And that's kind of what I went for with this whole backyard. Over in that back corner is going to be the kids area. I have a swing set from the Growing Together pack. That was the exclusive buy. Obviously, if you don't have that, it's okay. If you were to download this, you could replace it with the regular Base Game or Island Living swing set, and it would still work just fine. And here you'll see me figuring out what our terrain paint was going to look like, because I did want to work in some terrain paint, and I kind of worked with layers of the different sands, and then I topped it off with that kind of grayish dirt, and I think it came out really nice. Right here, I think it looks really cool. So that is where I went with that. And then over in the playground area, I did just a little bit more of the sandy feel, and then underneath the posts for the swing set, and the monkey bars, I did just a little spot of dirt, like that is where they have been for a while, so they're kind of worn in little spots. And also under the swings, I like to put little trails where the kids, you know, like run while they're sitting down on the swing to get a good push going. It seems realistic to me, and it just makes sense. So there you go. And then I use some tall grass pieces, I think also from Island Living, because I wanted to give some like patchiness to the landscaping, just because it seemed right. And I did use Tool Mod to lower them down ever so slightly, because they kind of sort of float, but they are debug grass pieces, so that makes a lot of sense. And then over here I'm crowding this area to make it look a little bit more, you know, overgrown, like it's not really super duper maintained, and they like it that way because it provides some coolness and some shade on that side of the house. And adding more bromeliad plants and little tiny palms, also from the Island Living pack. I love them. I use them a lot in all of my desert builds. And yeah, I think it came together really nice. So also a little tidbit while I'm doing more landscaping, just to fill the time, I got a new microphone. So if you notice that it sounds like I'm getting quieter or louder, I do apologize. I'm holding it currently because I can't figure out where I want it to be on the desk and how loud I am. So let me know in the comments how this sounds. This is, like I said, it's a new microphone versus just my headset microphone. So hopefully it sounds better. Better sound better. Anyway, here we go. Moving into the bathroom, I knew I wanted to add a toilet paper roll and a little candle on the back of the toilet. And I think I also add soap to the sink and I think another sunblock on the back of the toilet. Yes, there it is. And also the shelf from Tiny Living. It goes with the sink and toilet and mirror, but also I thought that it needed a little something more here on that wall just to make it fit. And I like how the color scheme of the yellow and blue on that shelf matched the tile on the wall. It was not planned, but it worked out. Here I am replacing those very bright green bushes with these flowering bushes as well. They are still from Island Living, but they are different, and I like them. I keep that little triangle tree there in the corner because I always use that. Adding more of this bromeliad here, I thought that it added a nice little bit of wildness to that corner. And then more terrain paint. Around here is where I decided, okay, I really gotta speed this up a little bit more. So I did a lot of fading to the finished product, which you will see come together. But I do enjoy watching when other builders do like landscaping and terrain paint. So I figured I would keep that in there because I know I like it, and I assume that maybe you do as well. Over there is our bathroom coming together nicely. I use the base game floor tile, but I use the Courtyard Oasis wall tile for that bathroom. And that lovely mirror in the odd shape that it is, I believe is from Vintage Glamour. There you go. I couldn't think of what it was called. I always want to say Luxury Party Stuff. I don't have Luxury Party Stuff. I just watched too much Lilsimsie, so I know of that pack very well. And then just a cute little toilet and toilet paper. And I think I add a organizer shelf, excuse me, over in the corner. I think just base game. Yes, that nice, lovely white one. And the towel, I was going to use the one from the bathroom clutter kit, but I ended up using the base game one with these little seashells on it. And I change it to the yellow swatch that I have never ever used in my entire Sims building life. But you know what? That was a perfect opportunity because there was yellow in the tile, and gosh darn it, it matches. So moving over to the front patio area, we have some lovely plants. That bench seat kind of looking couch thing is from the Desert Luxe kit, so I threw that up there as well. I do end up moving it a little bit forward because I wanted to use these vining flower pieces from what is it called? Jungle Adventure. My gosh, my brain is not working today. So I used those, and then I decided I want more. I must have more. So I had to move the little couch piece so that I could fit in more plants. But here I put that flowering bush there in the front, and then I think what I did was I added some Hawaiian grasses Also, along the sides of the deck, after I put up this lovely fern, this hanging wall fern, it was cutting in up top, so I had to move it down with the tool mod. But it looks really cute and looks really nice. Fills up the empty space on that wall downstairs and makes it look a little less uneven from the front, because yes, the doors are in fact uneven, or they end up being uneven, because I didn't like where the door was situated upstairs to the patio. It was kind of blocking the bathroom door a little bit, and it just didn't look right to me. Here I am adding some nice outdoor lights to the fence, because I wanted them to look like they were built in. They were just kind of sitting on top of that post in the corner, but obviously you can't do that unless you use the move objects on and the 9 keys. So that is what we did there, and I think it came together really cute. And here you will see I put that very ugly mat there in the front. I didn't know which one I wanted to use, but I knew I wanted to put one there, so that's kind of like a reminder mat for me to add another one later on. Here I am finishing up crowding that wall with more of the vining flowers. I think it came out really, really nice. And then I wanted to repeat the same light that I used from Courtyard Oasis, so I used the eyedropper tool back at the pool house, and I grabbed it to come repeat up on the front porch. I think I also used that light on the upper deck upstairs. But anyway, here we are moving into the kitchen. So I used those same cabinets that I used outside in the outdoor grill area, and I'm moving stuff around, and I'm trying to figure out what the general shape is going to be, because I had no idea. But I end up putting the stove right there in front of the half wall, and then a little the little side the little end piece for the cabinets. Wow, my brain and my mouth are having a hard time communicating today. And then I use that lovely base game range hood that floats from the ceiling, which actually, I don't know if I've ever used it, but it worked really well in here for the shades I was using on the wall, and again, and later on the window covers. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It came out really nice. And I do end up swapping out that fridge for the Jungle Adventure fridge in white. And here I am just completing the cabinetry. I put the skinny tall ones over those 3 windows you see, and then I use end pieces for the rest of it. I had to size the fridge down just a little bit because it was ever so slightly clipping into the cabinets. Move those windows just a little bit closer, and then I use this big hutch piece, which is also just from the upper cabinets, over in that corner there. And there is the Jungle Adventure sink to match the countertops. Now for the shades, I use these Desert Luxe ones. I just size them down and then pick a color I like. I use this blue one to go with the tile, and also they match the chairs in the dining room. So I figured that the colors flowed really nicely together. And then I just picked out the middle piece here to connect the shades. Like, you could pull them closed if you wanted to. I believe I used the tool mod to move them down. Yes, I do. Use the tool mod to move them down just a little bit, and then I end up repeating those shades later on those far windows. But first what I did was I threw this dishwasher in, pulled out a coffee pot, and then pulled out a bunch of different clutter, and I think I ended up just putting it all on the floor after I placed this drink tray, because I thought that was necessary. So I put the flooring down, and then I start pulling out clutter to use all throughout the kitchen. So there's like an olive jar and some spices and some peppers and some lemons and a dish rack and books and a snack caddy and a coffee mug. I just kind of move them around as needed. Like I said, I was doing this for a while, so I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to do here with the footage. Let me line myself up to get it all edited later. Little things you learn over time. And then I added some soap in a soap dish over there for washing dishes, and little hand soap squirter doodad, and also this little hand towel over here. I thought it worked so perfectly. Now over here I end up repositioning the books to kind of go on the corner island eventually, or the corner cabinet eventually, but for now we are working on the shades. So I repeated those Desert Luxe curtains from the front windows, but I moved them over ever so slightly because I was thinking, you can open and close them as you need to, and they can just be a little bit more natural. They don't have to be so structured. There's that same light from the pool house. And yeah, I think everything works really, really nice. I use a knife block, or I didn't use a knife block. Instead of the knife block, I use those hanging knives that are on the magnetic strip on the wall. So I put the cutting board over there. Those are all from the Cool Kitchen Stuff pack, which I very much enjoy. I do use them quite a bit. So put those up there. And also the hanging spoons and spatulas and such. Sorry for the yawn again. I can't help myself today. I took the kids to the pool. I am dying. Oof. Anyway. And then, of course, I had the smoke detector on the pillar over there. And the thermostat in the living room in that little corner, which I think is the area we will be moving to next. Finally got rid of that ugly mat and put in the mat that I wanted to use in front of the door. So over here we have the entryway. Very simple, came together pretty easy. I just put like a little glasses station, little cell phone and keys, a little key rack, and I think some hanging bags, all from the Everyday Clutter kit. I really enjoy those. I use those a lot. Everything from that kit is great. I don't think I've used the hairdryer as much as I thought I would. That's pretty much the only thing. Everything else from that kit I use quite often. And then over here on this other little entry table, yes, they have 2 entry tables, okay? Deal with it. So, those ceiling lights are from Growing Together. And then over here I think is like the kids area near the closet with books and a lunchbox and a book bag. And that made a lot of sense because there's a kid's bedroom, so you should see evidence of the child throughout the home. That is their little spot. And then I just cluttered up a few more plants. And then I think we move on to this side of the entryway / living space. I add one more of those wall decorations, and I put a different kind of flower inside it this time. That one is from Seasons, and it is very pretty as well. But I wanted to use that in here. Here's a hanging plant from the Bloomin' Rooms kit. I knew I wanted to use it, but I didn't know where, so I put it right at the bottom of the steps there, and I thought it looks really, really cute. Now these wall lights you'll see I change later. Those are base game. I end up changing them to like the globe ones from Growing Together, but you'll see that later on. So moving into the dining room, we kept up with this blue theme. I added that very large wall shelf. I think that's from Eco Lifestyle if I do remember correctly. And I just sized down that little basket, and here is basically the finished product. It has faded to be complete with the magic of editing, but I did a couple wall decorations, some paintings, and there's those lovely globe lights that I'm using. And then I use the hanging light from Jungle Adventure because I really love the candles on that, and I don't get to use that one very often, so I felt like it. But I thought that room came out really cute. And then over here we are working on the office, so you'll suddenly see it fade to being completed as well, just like the dining room did. But I really enjoyed it. I think it came out real nice. I did some clutter on the desk and a nice rug, also from Growing Together. I enjoy that rug. I've used that one quite a few times as well since it came out. But yeah, I really like the office space and the dining room space. Now moving to the back deck area leading out to the patio and pool space. I use this little trio of plants, which are funny because I use the same plants in the front, but I use them in their own individual spaces rather than the grouping that is also available. So I thought that was a neat touch. Maybe they got them in bulk. Anyway, there is the chess table, and that is from Growing Together. No, that is from High School Years. The chairs are from Base Game, and I really, really enjoy those too. I think they work really well. I use them in the dining room. No, I use those in the kitchen area outside, the outdoor grill space. And that little couch that you saw for a split second is also from Jungle Adventure. I think it worked out really well. So first I start off with this hallway light, and then I get rid of it. And here's most of the hallway done. I use the same light that I used in the guest bedroom in the pool house. Here is the bathroom. It just has a sink and a toilet, and here it has faded into being decorated. Voila, it is done. And this beautiful ceiling light. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special, just a little bit of clutter on the upper or on the countertop, and that lovely little fluffy rug in front of the sink. And I think I also repeat it in front of the tub as well. Yes, I do both. But here is the primary bedroom. I really liked the purple swatch on this bed, so I kind of leaned into that a little bit. She has the purple dresser also from the high school year's expansion pack. And then we are moving into it pretty much completed, just adding a few little details, some wall hanging decorations and paintings. And then we get to move into the children's room, or the child's room, should I say. And you'll see that it is poof, magically put together. I put up those curtains in between as like a partition between the bedroom area and the play/study area. And I really like how it came together. I was really trying to embrace the very strange shape of this room. Like, maybe before that was just a walk-in closet area and it wasn't really a bedroom at all, but they made it into this child's bedroom because they kind of had to. So yeah, that was my idea. That was my my plan. That was my vision going into this, and I think it worked out really nice. Just some cute posters and wall decorations, and then I think we move into the outdoor space on the upper deck. And that is about it. I don't know what that animal is called, but there's a stuffed animal on her end table that has the same one from those posters, and of course those cloud lights. I really like them. Ta-da! We have done most of the outdoor space. I used those lights from the little campers kit. I think I changed them to the black swatch later, so the black string with the white lights. And then over here is the adults' little sitting corner, and they have the globe bar and the very large tree, or palm tree, I guess it is. What is it? It's just a very large potted plant. And then I repeat the lights over on this side, so you'll see me put in 2 here, but it does repeat all along this wall here. But now we are moving on to the front, and most of it is pretty much done. I add that little decorative planter box from the Eco Lifestyle pack and some more string lights just to finish off the front. That is pretty much it. So here is a live mode or live mode shot of the home for just about a minute or so. And I want to take this time out to thank Lilsimsie for coming up with this shell challenge. It was a lot of fun. I very much enjoyed it. And if you guys enjoyed it, you should also submit. You have until the 17th, which is this coming Monday. So I definitely highly suggest you give it a shot and submit to be toured by Lilsimsie, by Miss Kayla herself, on her Twitch stream, probably sometime after the 17th. And yeah, I'm really glad you guys joined me here today. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below if there's anything you would have done differently, or if there's any other speed builds you would like to see in the future. And I will see you guys next time. Check out the music and the screenshots, and have a great day. All right, bye guys.